Christian Malard, who's a correspondent for the France 3 television network. Good morning. Good to have you with us. Tell us why it's taken so long to put Ramirez on trial for these offences, because they took place nearly 30 years ago.
30 years, it's so long. But, you know, the justice in this country is, I would say it's the same as in the United States. It's very slow. So since the time he has been put into jail, after he was arrested in 1994 by the French Secret Service in Khartoum, the capital of Sudan, he has been then put to jail. And justice is so slow in this country, you can have a lot of people, not only Carlos, but a lot of other people who have been waiting for so long that for the people waiting for a death penalty in the United States, it's the same parallel I could draw.
What do people think about him in France? Because, I mean, for people like you and me, he is really notorious, but there must be a whole generation of people who don't even know who he is. Yeah, you are right. I was thinking when I saw President Giscard d'Estaing, former French President Giscard d'Estaing, yesterday on television, they made a poll about him and saying, do you know who is Giscard d'Estaing? They asked the young generation, 20, 25 years ago. They did not even know. And I would be sure that today you get into the street in Paris, of course, people of my generation would tell you, of course, we know about Carlos. He's a terrorist. He has been killing so many people, even denied until now he was not involved in all these terrorist attacks in Paris in the future, in 92 and 93. But today, Carlos is acknowledging in a Venezuelan newspaper that he has been responsible for the deaths of 1,500 to 2,000 people. But when you get to talk into the street to the new generation, I'm sure a lot of people would tell you Carlos is a football player or whoever. It's just amazing, especially when it concerns terrorist attacks, which has been striking France at this very bad, tragic time in the 80s. Yeah, it's amazing. That newspaper interview you talk about, this was a newspaper interview in Venezuela. I mean, he was boasting that he'd carried out over 100 attacks. Is there a lot of media interest in this particular trial now that he's facing?
Oh, yes. Yes, all the TV stations, different networks, private or public, are covering the trial, which is going to last until December the 16th, which is going to last for 5 weeks. And at the very end of it, what do we expect? Certainly that this man is going to be freed. Definitely a lot of people would expect he is going to be sentenced to life jail sentence, which he deserves. The man is a comedian, a tragic comedian. He's a killer. He's a terrorist. What can we expect? If he was free, it would be a riot in this country because people would start knowing at that time who Carlos is.
Absolutely.
But honestly, I don't see him escaping the judgment.
But it's interesting that there's such a lot of publicity over this trial because with so much going on in France right now, I mean, right now your Prime Minister is announcing, what, up to $11 billion worth of budget cuts, which are going to affect everybody.
Yes, you are totally right. It's a good question. Amidst all this news, one new after the others, and especially amidst this European crisis, and the French, as you said, the French Prime Minister taking drastic austerity measures which the French have to accept, like the Greek or the Italians or the other European countries, it seems that Carlos' trial amidst all of this is something which belongs to a world apart. But still, I can confirm you, it's in the news, it's dealt with, but definitely it's not the headlines. And it will be the headlines probably at the midst of December when we know for the judgment.
We wait to see what happens. Christian, really good to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed for that. Christian Malard speaking to us from Paris there.